Welcome back, my beautiful people, to Can We Talk with Juel podcast, proudly sponsored by fundraisingcup.org Ministries, where faith meets fundraising and no one's selling salvation on layaway. So, with our headlines today, they will surely be confusing. The politics are exhausting. And the Wi-Fi outages are apparently part of a global plot. Now, let's get into it because what is really going on out here, guys? You got to tell me. Let's roll right into the local news. So apparently, the U.S. Department of Education just laid off 466 employees, mostly from departments like civil rights and special education. Because when the government shuts down, who needs education, right? We're all just winging it at this point. And don't worry, a court blocked the firing, so those employees are currently in that awkward phase where you're kind of like, you're fired but still here. We call that here the HR Bermuda Triangle. But wait, now, in the middle of all of this drama, two identical bills hit Congress like twins with a purpose. They're calling it the Keep SNAP Funded Act of 2025, designed to make sure 42 million Americans don't go hungry during the shutdown. The USDA warned that without it, benefits could stop by November. So basically, Congress said, we can't agree on anything except maybe people should still eat. Imagine that. A rare bipartisan moment, powered by your groceries. Meanwhile, AWS and AT&T decided to tag team the country with dual internet and cell services outages. Translation, we all got ghosted by technology. My grandma thought the rapture started, and others thought I blocked them once again. And then we have a civil war warning, guys. Now, this next headline sounds like a rejected Netflix pitch. Intelligence agencies, civil war coming soon. Apparently, if the government shutdown continues and SNAP benefits run out, there will be riots in every major city, which is wild because Americans can't even agree on where to eat. You think we're going to coordinate a civil war? We can't even get through a group chat without someone leaving. I don't know. I'm just saying. And then the FBI makes 28,000 arrests. So apparently, I don't even know 28,000 people. At this point, brunch reservations should come with a background check. I'm just saying. Meanwhile, the NBA has its own drama. Fake injuries, leaked info, and betting scandals. At this point, the only thing real in basketball is that court fee. And now economy news. So the U.S. national debt just hit $38 trillion. I panicked, but let's be real. We all stopped doing math after student loans crossed 6 digits. Consumer confidence dipped again, which makes sense. People are out here asking ChatGPT if they can pay their rent in vibes and exposure. But good news, bank stocks rose because apparently when the rest of us panic, the banks throw a party. And then we have international news. Across the pond, Israel's got protests. Ireland just elected Catherine Connolly, and France had Lever heist. A Lever heist? Using a lift truck? Even the criminals in Paris have better production value than most Marvel movies. And the ad campaign that followed, guys, wait for this. The equipment company said, our list can reach new heights. Literally. That's how you turn crime into marketing, folks. Oh my gosh, they got it right. Meanwhile, Trump ended a trade talk with Canada. I didn't even know we were still talking to Canada. I thought we ghosted them after the maple syrup embargo. Okay. And in Venezuela, Trump sanctioned Colombia, sent an aircraft carrier to the Caribbean, and somewhere in there built a $300 million ballroom. Because apparently when the world's on fire, we're dancing through the apocalypse. Rolling right into science news. NASA employees joined the No Kings protest in D.C., proving once again that even rocket scientists are tired of this simulation. And Comet 3I Atlas reached its closest point to the sun. Scientists say it reversed. Great. Even space rocks are doing U-turns now. Unfreaking believable. And rolling into our health news. The FDA recalled over 6 million black sheep eggs for salmonella. So if your omelets start talking back, it's time to pray and pivot. Now, on to our weather news, or as I call it, the plot twist of the week. So while Congress is shutting down everything except their mouths, Mother Nature said, hold my hurricane. Hurricane Melissa has been wiling out in the Caribbean all weekend, knocking out power, flooding streets, and proving she does not believe in personal space. Now, the big question, where's she heading next? Meteorologists are basically on live TV playing Guess Who with a hurricane. Could hit the East Coast, could swing out to sea, could just show up in your group chat uninvited. Who knows? One expert said, we'll know more tomorrow. I said, isn't that what y'all said yesterday? Meanwhile, folks are stocking up on water, batteries, and snacks like it's a snow day. Except it's 2025. And inflation said you can only afford one of those three. But seriously, stay safe, stay alert, and don't be one filming in the eye of the storm saying, y'all, it's not that bad out here, because Melissa don't play. Now, moving into my favorite travel news. You know I'm your favorite travel agent. Don't forget to book with me, guys, if you haven't done so already. We have thousands of flight cancellations. Delta, American, SkyWest, all grounded. At this point, TSA's new motto should be pack snacks and patience, please. Sit at your own risk. Get this. If you're planning a getaway anytime soon, here's something that might make you put that pina colada down real slow. The British government just issued new travel warnings for 8 countries. Yes, 8. And they're not for hurricanes, not for crimes, but for methanol poisoning from tainted alcohol. Yep, you heard that correctly. Apparently, the spirit of adventure just got a little too literal. According to the UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, tourists visiting Ecuador, Japan, Kenya, Mexico, Nigeria, Peru, Russia, and Uganda should be careful where they drink, because some of that local flavor might come with a side of blindness or hospitalization. Now listen, if your cocktail smells like paint thinner and comes from a jug that says probably safe, maybe just stick to bottled water, okay? Because nothing ruins a vacation faster than needing subtitles at the emergency room in a language you don't speak. So if you're traveling, sip smart, stay alert, and remember, when the price of the drink sounds too good to be true, it probably comes with a hangover from hell. And moving into Fly the Unfriendly Skies, I should say, edition. So speaking of travel warnings, apparently you don't need to go abroad to risk your life, or your patience for that matter. You can just book an American Airlines flight. According to a new analysis by Click Intelligence, American Airlines officially earned the title of the world's most loathed airline carrier, scoring a glorious 2.9 out of 10 in passenger satisfaction. Let that sink in. You could literally flip a coin and have a better chance of enjoying your flight. This year alone, passengers have been duct taped mid-flight, injured during turbulence, evacuated because of cabin smoke, and forced to inhale someone's vape cloud at 30,000 feet. At this point, the in-flight safety video should just start with "Welcome aboard" and "Good luck." Even Spirit Airlines is probably looking over like, "Wow, are you okay, bro?" And things are really bad when the chicken or the beef is no longer your biggest worry. It's the duct tape or the defibrillator. So if you're traveling soon, maybe check if your flight includes seatbelts, oxygen mask, and a prayer circle. I'm just saying, guys. Because when the customer satisfaction score is that low, turbulence might just be the friendliest part of the journey. And if you're abroad during a crisis, the U.S. Embassy says they're here to help, unless you're a targeted individual seeking asylum. Then get a pamphlet and a polite good luck with that. Speaking of which, let's roll right into targeted individual news. So, finally, in a story shaking an entirely different world, the chess community is in mourning. Daniel Naroditsky, a beloved grandmaster, has died unexpectedly this week, leaving fans and fellow players heartbroken. Investigators are still looking into what happened, but his passing has sparked grief, outrage, and accusations of bullying among top players. It's a sobering reminder that even in the quiet world of chess, the human cost of cruelty can hit harder than any checkmate. Now, guys, if you haven't checked out our latest podcast interview with the Honorable Dr. Nina Ritchie and the CEO, Eric Ramirez, you need to pause this episode. Grab your popcorn and go watch it. Seriously, guys, it's good. The details they shared were absolutely shocking, from why they were chosen to who was behind it and the tactics used to terrorize and silence them. It's not just another story. I'm telling you, it's a wake-up call. We'll be sharing the poll results a little bit later in this podcast from that episode. But until then, I urge single one of you to listen to that show, because the more we understand these tactics, the stronger we become as a community. And to every targeted individual out there who's been reaching out, sharing, or even just surviving for that matter, quietly, we see you, we hear you, and your truth matters. Please hit us up. We want to know what's going on. Which brings me to my random thoughts. I know how much you guys love this. So, during the government shutdown, one specific area hit hard was the infrastructure projects, if you guys recall. The administration froze billions in funding, mostly in states with Democratic leadership. And I think it included like $18 billion or so for a new rail tunnel in New York and an $11 billion project in San Francisco, Boston, and New York. Meanwhile, right, while all of this is going on with infrastructure, King Trump is reportedly building this $300 million ballroom while the government is closed, mind you. You can't make this stuff up. So far, the White House says $200 million has been pledged. Yes, guys. But won't say how much Trump himself is going to contribute to this project, of course. But reports claim donors might even get their names etched into the ballroom walls. Talk about buying influence with style. Democratic leaders and ethnic experts are calling the whole thing a pay-for-access palace. As if that weren't enough headline whiplash, Trump commuted the sentence of former Congressman George Santos, yes, the fraud guy, then pardoned crypto titan Changpeng Zhou, the Binance founder, who pled guilty to money laundering, by the way. Now the internet's buzzing. Is Diddy next? because this Forgive and Forget tour is starting to look a lot like a scene, guys. Meanwhile, in pop culture, Kim Kardashian revealed on The Kardashians that she was diagnosed with a little aneurysm, which she partly blamed on stress from co-parenting with Kanye. Then she jumped online to defend North's fake tattoos and piercings, saying it's all harmless expression. But apparently, even in the middle of a shutdown, the Kardashians are still running a full media economy. How so? And that beautiful young daughter of hers is just stunning. You know, I must say, every time I see her, she just looks older to me. I don't know why, but she just does. Random thought. Anyway, and of course, our dearest friend Candace Owens is back. Don't you guys love her in my random thoughts every time I see a post? I just can't help but to ponder on what she is saying. She said this week that the government assassinated Charlie Kirk. Yeah, she just outright dropped that bomb. Elon Musk is inhuman, and tech billionaires are Apple software you can download at night. Girl, at this point, we all just want to log off the simulation entirely and reboot. And you guys know what time it is. Poll break. All right, let's lighten the mood a bit. Let's check in with some of our recent poll results, starting with our comical Mr. Talk poll. When you skip a podcast episode, 56% of you said it feels like going to work without your coffee. So does that mean you all consider me a refreshment necessity? I would hope so. 33% said it's like skipping leg day, and while 0% said left before the good part, which tells me y'all surely stay for all the drama, and I'm here for it. Moving on to our poll taken after the last What's Going On. No, not the last What's Going On. The last Targeted Individuals podcast with the Honorable Dr. Nina Ritchie and the CEO Eric Ramirez, where we asked what hurts most about feeling targeted. Now, 45% of you guys said having your pain dismissed. I agree. 27% said being isolated. That's tough as well. 18% said not being believed. Yeah. Which basically confirms that, well, humanity may need therapy and hugs. You know, I'm just so glad you guys could empathize with targeted individuals and could picture what's the difficult thing that they are suffering from the most. Kudos to you guys. And finally, our last poll, which was a random question that was posed by my assistant, which is not here with me today. So you guys definitely are missing out on the extra hype that we usually get in the background. But the question that was posed is, are you still planning to grow your family in this climate? 75% of you said yes, faith over fear. 13% of you said maybe, I'm praying on it. Tied with another 13 that said not right now, too unstable. And 0% of you said no, the world feels too heavy, which means, guys, hope is still alive. Go ahead, be fruitful and multiply, guys. I am behind you 100%. Just a few shout outs I want to give really, really quick. I want to shout out our amazing editor, Princess Grace. She recently had a birthday, and she's a real MVP, keeping these episodes from sounding like alien radio. Thank you, Princess Grace. We appreciate you. And shout out to Brother Thomas. He's no stranger to the show. He recently launched his very own podcast called The Hidden Frequencies, where conspiracy theories get the TED Talk treatment. Guys, if you haven't heard his first episode, Amazing. Definitely check it out. I'm sure he would love to know your thoughts, so don't be afraid to leave a comment and let him know what you think. And of course, massive, massive love to all of you who vote, comment, and tune in weekly. We don't just see you, we hear you. Which brings me to my closing thoughts. I know you guys are sad. We're wrapping this up already. So, guys, what's really going on? Between shutdowns, scandals, and space comets reversing, maybe the universe is just buffering. Who knows? But until next time, keep your coffee close, your Wi-Fi stable, and your faith stronger than your feed refresh rate. This is Juel Claxton, your host, signing off for Can We Talk with Juel, where news meets nuance and satire meets sanctuary. And remember, it's not paranoia if they are really out to get you. Bye.